Noon. It is another gorgeous day. Haven't we just had a wonderful string of gorgeous days these last couple days? I hope that you guys have been able to go outside and enjoy it. I hope that you have been just really soaking up the sunshine and having a lot of fun. I know that some of you are officially done with school, so congratulations and happy summer break! Woo! Now, I do know that there are some of you that still have a day or two. So hang in there. It's coming, it's on its way, and soon you will be ready for summer break. So finish strong. I'm praying for you, and I hope that your last couple days of school go well. Well, I am here this afternoon to share with you the children's lesson from Pastor Kyle's sermon this morning. He broadcasts live on our main Facebook page, Countryside Free Methodist Church, every Sunday morning at 10:30. And I hope that you guys were able to watch the service with your families. If not, no worries. You can always go back to our page and watch it there, or you can head to our YouTube channel and watch it there as well. This is the children's part that goes along with Pastor Kyle's sermon. And today we are talking about a really special, complicated question that some people have. And it's all about, did dinosaurs exist? And are they real? And are dinosaurs in the Bible? So let's dig into our lesson now as we learn more about what God has to say about dinosaurs, okay? So, dinosaurs were real animals that roamed the earth. God created every living thing. And so the designs of his dinosaurs were special and unique. And although we're going to be learning about a lot of dinosaurs, our focus will be on how God is amazing and how awesome he is to have created such creatures. Evolutionists believe that things evolve or change from their earlier types. Creationists believe that God created all of the living things as distinct and individual types of creatures. Let's learn some truths about living creatures known as dinosaurs. A couple hundred of years ago, an English doctor named Gideon Mantell found some unusual teeth and bones in a large stone pit. He believed that he had found a different type of reptile. During this same time, a famous scientist and creationist, Dr. Richard Owen, began using the name Dinosaurian, which meant terrible lizard. Most evolutionists say that dinosaurs lived about 65 million years ago. But creationists believe that dinosaurs were created on day 6, just like the other land animals, found in Genesis 1:20 through 25. We know that dinosaurs really existed because the Bible describes them. Did you know that the Bible describes them? I'll show you pictures, okay? So there are my pictures there. Hopefully you guys can see them okay. There we go. So, the Bible describes some animals in Job chapter 40, verses 15 through 24. And one of the animals described there, the Bible called Behemoth. And it's described as the biggest land animal that God ever created. The Behemoth means colossal beast. Do you guys know what the word colossal means? Well, it means really big or large, huge. The Behemoth ate grass. It was strong in its hips, stomach, and bones. And it was tall like the cedar tree. Some people think that the Behemoth might have been an elephant or a hippopotamus, but neither of them have a really huge tail like a cedar tree, do they? The Behemoth was a fearless and confident animal. What do you think? Could the Behemoth been a dinosaur? Well, this description of this creature in the Bible, it actually fits a real-life dinosaur called the Brachiosaurus. And so that was one of the animals that was described by God in the book of Job. Next, in Job 41, God describes an animal called Leviathan. And that animal lived in the sea. It has strong armor scales, great strength, and jaws as large as doors and terrifying teeth. This description actually fits the real-life dinosaur known as the plesiosaurus and its family. So we learned that the Bible does mention these great creatures, and some people thought that they looked or sounded kind of like some of our modern day animals, but there was a lot of differences. Like we learned that the behemoth, it didn't have a small tail like an elephant, and those animals didn't have large tails like it was described. And some people thought that the Leviathan was an alligator, but the alligator wasn't known to breathe fire like the Bible mentions that the Leviathan did. And so some people still question, though, if these animals were really dinosaurs, because they question if dinosaurs were on the ark that Noah built. The Bible tells us that Noah took 2 of every land animal. So yeah, if dinosaurs were around, Noah would have taken them on the ark as well, because he took 2 of every kind of animal. Some people think dinosaurs would be too big to fit on the ark. I don't know if you guys have had a chance to go out to Kentucky, where there at the Creation Museum, they've actually built a real live ark made to the specifications that Noah was mentioned in the Bible when it talks about Noah building the ark. So they built it to scale, exactly how big it would be. And if you have a chance, Google the ark at the Creation Museum, and you'll see it is huge. And so there's definitely a lot of room for animals. Now, a lot of people say, well, dinosaurs were really big, and even if there was a lot of room on the ark, how would dinosaurs fit? Well, baby animals are a lot smaller, aren't they, than regular large animals, right? Large elephants are humongous, but baby elephants are much smaller. So maybe Noah knew that and took baby animals with him, maybe baby dinosaurs. So some animals were as small as a chicken, and some were really big. Noah may have taken ones that were not fully grown, since reptiles continue to grow as long as they live. So there definitely would have been room on this big boat for dinosaurs if Noah had taken babies, right? Now, we're going to switch over. Do you guys know what a fossil is? Fossils are the imprints of plants and animals that lived long ago. And I have one here. Whoops, let's see if you can see that. You may have seen a fossil of a leaf similar to this picture. Most of the time when an animal dies, other animals eat its body or it rots and turns to dust. So normally there are not fossils when an animal dies. The animals, dinosaurs, and all living animals that were not on the ark, they all drowned. They would have been covered with tons and tons of mud as the water covered the land. Because of this quick burial, they would have been preserved as fossils. The great waves during the flood swept the layers of the earth back and forth, laying and relaying everything that was loose. Over time, these layers, combined with pressure and heat, became the solid forms that they are now, similar to how mud hardens. Evolutionists believe that the dinosaurs ruled the earth and died out before man evolved. So they don't have an explanation for where they are now, or where they are. But since we know that they were on the ark, we have the question of where they are now. They would have lived in the time after the flood. So if Noah took them on the ark, and then when the flood was over and all the animals could come out, dinosaurs would have come out too. But many animals, including the dinosaurs, had a hard time adjusting to their new environment. They eventually died out or became extinct. This still happens. There are animals that lived many years ago that are no longer on the earth. Let me show you a picture of some of them. We have the saber-toothed cat, we have the dodo, and we have the woolly mammoth. And those are real animals that also became extinct. Now, these animals here that I want to show you are animals that are in danger of becoming extinct. So we have the northern white rhino and the South China tiger and the Amur leopard. So just like animals that were extinct before, some animals are in danger still of becoming extinct for many different reasons. Those animals are on the endangered list. That means they're close to being extinct. So these animals lived but they have become extinct for several different reasons, just like we believe the dinosaurs did. You know, God created everything living, including the dinosaurs, just like the Bible mentions. They were created on the sixth day of creation. Dinosaurs existed alongside human beings and all the other creatures that walked the earth with Adam and Eve. The designs of his dinosaurs were special and unique. But because of the flood and the conditions of the earth after the flood, they became extinct. From what we learn today, we know without a shadow of a doubt that dinosaurs were real because they're described in the Bible. However, just like animals today, they no longer exist. Knowing that our all-powerful Creator God made these amazing creatures should encourage us to praise Him. You know, this week I want you to think about one way we can hit this home in this lesson. We can hit it home. You know, regardless of what people think about the dinosaurs, we know that God created them, and He created all kinds of creation for us and living creatures for us to enjoy. And that should cause us to give Him praise and be thankful for everything that He created. So this week, a way for you to hit it home is to think of one small thing that you can do every day to tell God thanks or to praise Him. You know, it could be just getting up in the morning and starting with a thanks God for the flowers, or thanks God for my cat or my dog. Or you could sing a favorite song about creation. You know, there's lots of amazing praise songs that are all about creation. And you know, if you don't know a place to start, YouTube is a great place to start for looking up songs on creation, or you can look up in the Psalms. There's all kinds of songs about praising God for the amazing creation that He made. Or maybe you just want to write down a little note every morning of something that you're thankful for. You know, all of those are ways that you can just remember to use God's creation to praise Him and to be thankful. So those are just some easy and simple ways that I challenge you this week to just express to God how awesome He is and how thankful you are for everything that He has made. Well, now I want to switch gears a little bit, and we're going to talk about our faith skill focus for this next week. You know, if you're not familiar with our Faith Skills program, remember we're just teaching everyone, kids, teens, adults, some easy ways to help us to be better friends with God. You know, we talked around Easter time how we can become friends, BFFs with God. But that relationship, just like our earthly friends, it needs some things to grow, doesn't it? If you have a best friend, you need to continue talking to them, or continue reading letters that they send you, or continue doing things together, right? To become better friends. God's the same way. And we learned last month that one of the first faith skills that we talked about was prayer, which is just a fancy word for talking to God. And we learned all kinds of ways last month through our Faith Skills program to learn how to talk to God. We learned things to say. We learned how to do it. We learned where to do it and what time, and what kinds of things does God want us to hear about, or what kinds of things does He want to hear about from us. All those things are on our Facebook page here. If you didn't get a chance to join us and you're just starting out now, all of those faith skills tips on prayer and how to be a better friend to God by talking to Him, all those things are right here on our Facebook page. So feel free to go back and check them out. This month, we've been talking about the next step, which is kind of like reading His letters. Did you know that God sent us letters? His word, the Bible, is full of letters that He inspired other people to write to us from Him. All of the words in the Bible are inspired by God. All different kinds of authors. It still has one common theme, and it's truth in our lives, and it can help us in every different kind of situation. Do you know, just like dinosaurs were found in the Bible, there are solutions for our everyday problems too. Do you know if you have a problem with worry, there's stuff in the Bible to help us through it. If you have a problem with anger, there's stuff in the Bible that God wrote to us to help us through it. So the Bible is full of all kinds of letters to us from God. And we sometimes have a hard time knowing where do we start, or how do we do it? How do we read the Bible? Sometimes it's kind of confusing. And so we've been working through the whole month of June on really easy ways to get to know God's letter to us, the Bible, and how do we study it. Last week we talked about how to gather our tools before we start. So we talked about all the different kinds of Bibles and making sure that you have one that's easy for you to understand no matter what level you're at. Little kid, early reader, middle school kid, a teenager, or even an adult. You need the right tools before you start reading the Bible. Just like we learned that a carpenter needs the right tools before he starts building a house, right? Well, this week, our next faith skills focus is going to be all about where do we start? You know, after a construction worker gathers his tools, he has to start somewhere, right? And so he or she needs to have a plan on what they're going to do. Where do they start building the house? Well, this week, we're going to talk about the easy things that we can do to know where to start. And so every day, just as a reminder, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, we'll have a really quick and easy short tip that you can do with your family or alone by yourself or a grown-up if it's just you. There's a really easy quick tip for you to put into practice that shows you where to start in reading the Bible. Those tips are found right here on this page, and we usually post them by noon. So you can head there and check it out and then put into practice that day that tip. Also, on Wednesday nights at 6 o'clock, we have a live video, a live Facebook video just like this one, that puts some of those tips into practice so you can see in real life how that tip works out. And you can, it gives you an example and you can mimic it just like you're seeing us do. So if you would like some more help on how to read the Bible and where to start, feel free to tune in this week and join us on our Facebook page as we walk through some really easy ways for us to start reading the Bible. And then you can see a hands-on video that will help too. Remember, just go at your own pace. If you need to go back to prayer, not last month's focus, and start there, do that. These things will always be here, so you can do them at your own leisure and how much you have time for. I know the summer's here and a lot of people get busy for this summer. So don't feel like you have to join us every single day. You could do it maybe once a week, or you can do it when you have time, or just join us for the live videos. Whatever works for you. We created this system just to be a help, to help us all be better friends with God. And we don't want it to be a burden. So just make sure that you continue on at your own pace. Some of you have just received the paper calendar at home that has all of our tips for the whole month, and you've been following along with that, and that's cool too. Remember though, if you don't have a calendar and you'd like to have one instead, all the tips that we post on Facebook, we posted right on that little paper calendar. If you'd like one of those just to hang on your fridge and follow along that way, send us a message here so that we can get that out to you in the mail. Well, that is it for me today. I hope that you guys have a great rest of the week, or the beginning of the week now. Remember, kids that are hanging in there with the last couple days of school, finish strong. You can do it. You've got this. And soon, summer break will be yours as well. So everybody have a wonderful summer. By the time I see you next, it will be hopefully everybody's summer break. And I hope that you just have a wonderful, wonderful summer. I miss you guys. I hope that I can see you again in person soon. And I am praying for you. And I'm here if you need anything. Have a great one, everyone. Bye.